Breaking news: Egypt is getting ready to invade Ethiopia to occupy Benishangul, where the Ethiopian Grand Renaissance Dam located, and defend Sudan against any Ethiopian Eritrean attack against them. Egyptian army started the Nile Protectors maneuver, with the Sudanese army deploying all branches of the army in a predecessor has not happened since the Gulf War I, when the Egyptian army as an American ally cooperated with the United States military to free Kuwait from Saddam's Iraqi army, whom invaded Kuwait in 1990. Deploying fighter jets and Special Forces Elite Unit 999. Egyptian MiG-29M and M2 fighter jets and Special Forces in Sudan for the largest Egyptian-Sudanese joint military exercise, Protectors of the Nile. The Sudanese Armed Forces confirmed that the joint maneuvers of the Nile Protectors with the Egyptian Armed Forces are not directed against anyone, and are aimed at preparing to defend the country against any potential threat, and will continue until May 31st. On the one hand, the director of the training department of the Sudanese Armed Forces, Major General Malik Al-Tayeb Khajali, confirmed that the Guardians of the Nile training is a mixed exercise between the Sudanese and Egyptian forces, and a joint exercise between the air and ground forces, with the aim of exchanging experiences, raising combat readiness, and strengthening cooperation between the two armies. The maneuvers of the Nile Protectors came after clashes between the Sudanese and Ethiopian armies. The Sudanese army was able to regain a new area of agricultural land in Fashika, on the border with Ethiopia. Major General Malik said in a televised interview with the As Follows program on the Blue Nile channel, that the maneuvers have nothing to do with events in eastern Sudan and are not directed at anyone, but rather a willingness to defend our country against any potential threat, and it comes periodically within the protocols between the two countries, and it is not the first and it will not be the last. The Sudanese Armed Forces had announced the completion of preparations for the launch of the joint Sudanese-Egyptian training project, Hamad of the Nile, which will take place in Sudan from 26 to May 31, 2021 AD. Participating in the project are elements of all specialties and classes in the two armies, and the Egyptian forces participating in the project arrived at Khartoum Air Base, along with columns of ground forces and vehicles that arrived by sea. According to the Sudanese military media, the Nile Protectors maneuver comes as an extension of the joint training cooperation between the two countries, and indicated that it was preceded by the Nile Eagles 1 and 2, and all aimed at exchanging military expertise, strengthening cooperation and unifying working methods to address the expected threats to the two countries. In April, the Sudanese and Egyptian armies conducted joint air maneuvers at Mero Base, northern Sudan, which lasted for days, under the name of Eagles of the Nile 2.